and part of the LA Zoo. The allocated funding will be supplemented by $80 million from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. This council action is part of its commitment to transitioning the city to 100% renewable energy by 2035.
We're so blessed to enjoy beautiful beaches here in LA, especially when they look clean and healthy. Let's take a trip to Dockweiler Beach, where 3,000 young Angelinos gather during the Kids Ocean Day for a cleanup.
Oh, wow, the first bus is coming down the road. That's what we're doing today. We're setting this up for a beach cleanup for almost 3,000 kids are coming to the beach today. When they step off the bus and they've never been to the beach before and they go, wow, this is incredible. I think I can save the earth. And that moment of discovery, we believe is a foundation for caring for the beach and the ocean.
It's a very special day because we have to remember that some of these students this is their first field trip ever. Because the time COVID hit, they were just probably in kindergarten. And so this is the first time that, one, they have been around their peers and their friends, and two, they were able to actually come out and have a great time and just enjoy themselves being kids.
This introduces them to the joy of nature, the joy of the ocean, and so they're going to be sending a giant message to the world of joy and love for the ocean. The theme this year is about the joy of nature.
They form a huge human aerial art installation.
When we create the art, it's a way of manifesting a framing photograph. For a lot of these kids, when they see the photo in the newspaper or online, it will remind them of the day that they committed themselves to cleaning the beaches and cleaning the oceans, and hopefully it sets a tone for the rest of their life.
And empowering a child is giving them knowledge, giving them actions, giving them awareness of the world around them.
Find some way to take action for nature. Pull yourself off your phone and your computer screen and actually get out and remember what it's like to be human and be alive in nature. It will be healthier for you, and in the long run, it will be healthier for our community and for everyone. Give yourself that gift.
Council District 1, the city's housing authority, and community organization PATH teamed up to provide welcome kits for the new residents of the Alvarado Project Home Keys site. The unsheltered people who will move in will be able to live in a house that feels like home. Here's that story.
We are here at the Alvarado Project Home Keys site in Westlake in Council District 1. Today, the council member, along with the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles and PATH, are preparing and delivering welcome home kits to each of the apartments that will house people that are formerly homeless as well as at risk for homelessness.
We are thrilled to have a number of 8th grade students here with us today from Corpus Christi School in the Palisades, and they came to us to help us furnish these new units with what we call welcome home kits. At PATH, we have a fabulous volunteer program through which we partner with this school. The school did a fundraising drive, a goods drive, to bring in all of these welcome home items. So that's towels, linens, detergent, all of the items that make a house a home.
So we're just going to be going into the different apartments, and we're just going to try and make the place feel a little more welcoming for when the homeless individuals come, and by placing down our baskets and kind of just getting the apartments ready.
This is a forever home for anyone who wants to stay here, but for others this may be a place where they have a respite, they have an opportunity to think about what their next steps are.
I think every chance you get to help your community or give back, you just take it, because at the end of the day, it's not about making you feel good, but the people around you feeling good. And, you know, kindness is the key to life, and you definitely want to spread that.
Nativo Lopez was a Chicano activist who fought for equity and the protection of immigrant rights. His long-lasting contribution will now be honored thanks to the renaming of a park in Council District 1. His history and legacy will now be enjoyed by the community he inspired and so dutifully served. Check it out.
Good things are happening in CD1. This is the third park project that we've celebrated this month.
So we're here today for a kind of soft opening, right? A mini inauguration for a park to come named Nativo Lopez to pretty much recognize his legacy of community activism in the fight for immigrant rights.
And we're honored to rename this park after a man who spent most of his life engaging in activism for equity, as well as organizing protests against exploitation of illegal immigrants.
He was very instrumental in helping a lot of the immigrants with the process of getting their papers and help them get legal citizenship.
It's a great honor to be renaming this park on behalf of the history and legacy he has left behind.
This is quite a beautiful thing for the city to do, and we're happy to have this park for our community.
The community was indoors for like the past 2 years, so a lot of the residents are seeking a safe green space. This community has been advocating for a new, fresh park.
And we're just hoping that this will inspire other families and people to give back to the community now that they see that the city is giving back to them.
We can come here in the future, right, and reflect on the hardships that our community faces and kind of regain some energy and strength to keep on fighting the good fight.
Summer is here, and the high temperatures make Angelenos seek shade and, of course, swimming pools to stay cool. Well, I have good news because the pool at the Hansen Dam Aquatic Center is now officially open 7 days a week. So, Angelenos, grab your swimming trunks and get ready to splash all day long.
You are at Hansen Dam Aquatic Center. This is our opening day. We're always open for recreational swim, our water slide, and lap swimming.
It's great. The kids get to have more interaction with people and they have more exercise.
It's cool, yeah. I never really knew it was going to be open until just now.
And you already been in the water? How's the water?
The water's really cold.
We are open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends, and we'll be open every day starting June 11th, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. through Labor Day.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are all about baseball. Actually, it's much more than that. Maria Hallbrown was at Dodgers Stadium to talk with Nicole Whiteman, CEO of the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation. She discussed all the ways in which the club is giving back to the community and what motivates her to keep advocating for social justice causes through the work of the foundation.
Well, we all know about the Dodgers' prowess on the field, but are you aware of the compassionate concern for the community? We're going to find out all the things that the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation does because I'm joined today by the CEO, Nicole Whiteman. So nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
And so fun to be here at the stadium.
Yes, it's lovely when there aren't 56,000 people here.
What prompted the need for a foundation?
Yeah, so the foundation was actually founded by Peter O'Malley in 1995, and at the time he and the ownership group really wanted to make sure that they were providing a vehicle to the Los Angeles community that could very specifically hone in on mission-related items and causes that were important to Los Angeles.
The foundation is built on good intent, but what are the action items? What are the things that you guys do?
Yes, you know, we exist literally as a 501c3 to address LA's most pressing problems. And so what we're talking about is homelessness, education, healthcare, and social justice. We do the work through a social justice lens because we know that there are individuals in the Los Angeles community who are living in the shadows of Dodger Stadium, meaning that they aren't frequent visitors, but they may be fans, and we want to take responsibility for caring about them and their needs as well. The foundation is about opening doors. It's about access and opportunity. It's about using this big brand that is the Dodgers to amplify the voices of those who are living in underserved communities.
What would make you feel as if you've done your job well?
I think the biggest outcome for me is increased possibilities for the future for people here in the city of Los Angeles. It's that increase in quality of life, that increase in self-confidence, and strengthen communities. Those things are ultimately what we're aiming to do, and those would make me feel like, hey, we are being successful, we are successful.
The Grand Performances Outdoor Concert Series is back. Attend 50 free summer concerts at Levitt Pavilion, or take your kids to a fun and free puppet making program. All this up next on Things to Do.
Council District 4 and Grand Performances are presenting the 2022 Outdoor Concert Series. This free summer series celebrates LA's rich cultural diversity through a unique lineup of world music, dance, and theater in an outdoor venue. Everyone is welcome at this grand series, featuring acts like Black Nile, Ella's, Nick Smith, Lena Fornia, as well as many other great artists. All the performances will take place outdoors in the beautiful California Plaza located on 350 South Grand Avenue in downtown Los Angeles. The series is open to all ages and will take place every Saturday until September 30th. For more information, visit grandperformances.org or culturela.org. The beloved Levitt Pavilion is celebrating its 15th anniversary season with 50 free summer concerts. If you're a music lover, this is your chance to enjoy live music from over 20 different genres in a one-of-its-kind vibrant arts and cultural space from mid-June to early September. The 50 free summer concerts will take place at the Levitt Pavilion, Los Angeles, located in the northwest corner of MacArthur Park, near the intersection of West 6th Street and South Park View Street. The opening concert is on Saturday, June 18th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and the last one will be on Sunday, September 4th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. For more details on when each concert takes place, visit levittlosangeles.org. The Palisades Branch Library invites your children to Puppetivity Palooza, a fun and inspiring puppet making program. Under the guidance of Lisa M. Friedman York, children will work with recycled materials to discover the magic of building puppets that represent real and imaginary creatures. This is a great chance for kids to ignite their imagination through storytelling and creative play. This free puppet making program is designed for children ages 5 to 11. Puppetivity Palooza will take place at the Palisades Branch Library on Thursday, June 16th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Good morning and welcome to the Los Angeles City Council. Today is Wednesday, June 15th. I'm Nuria Martinez, the President of the City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield,
Blumenfield present.
Bonin,
Here.
Buscaino, Cedillo,
Present.
De Leon, absent. Harris Dawson, absent. Koretz, absent. Krikorian,
Here.
Lee,
Present.
Martinez,
Present.
O'Farrell,
Present.
Price,
Here.
Rahman,
Here.
Rodriguez, absent. Wesson.
Here.
11 members present and a quorum, Madam President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of June 14th, 2022.
Mr. Cedillo moves and Mr. Price seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. Wesson moves and Mr. Bonin seconds. Next.
Items 1 through 14 are items for which public hearings have been held. The Arts, Parks, Health, Education, and Neighborhoods Committee report has been submitted for item 12 and posted to Council file number 22-0081. Items 15 through 26 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, without objection, those items are now before us. Members, you wish to call any of these items special? Okay, see no specials. Madam Clerk, which are the available items for us to vote on?
Madam President, there are cards on items 15 through 26. In that case, the Council may now vote on items 1 through 14.
Okay, let's go ahead and open the roll on items 1 through 14. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Mr. Buscaino?
Could you register a no vote on 14? I don't think it impacts the outcome.
Okay,
Thank you.
register Mr.
Thank you, Madam
Buscaino
President.
as a no vote on item 14. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That will be 10 ayes and 1 no for item 14. The item is adopted.
Thank you.
Madam
Lit-
President, can we send
Mr. Bonin.
item 14 forthwith, please?
There's been a request by Mr. Bonin to send item 14 forthwith. Without objection, that will be the order. Okay, let me move on to public comment. Okay, Mr. City Attorney, I would like to make a verbal motion before we take public comment on item 26. I move that we adopt the city clerk's recommendation and the election ordinance and ballot resolutions to place this initiative on the November 8th ballot of 2022. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Cedillo, thank you. Okay, let's go move on to public comment. Mr. Arnold Sachs? Oh, it's before that. Excuse me, Mr. Sachs. Mr. Bonin?
Clerk will read.
Okay, there's a technical amendment on item
The
20.
city attorney will read.
Yeah, I'll read it.
24?
Yeah.
It hasn't been circulated on the TAC board yet, so I'll read it in. So it's to amend item 24 as follows. A, revise report recommendation number 1 as follows. Authorize the Los Angeles Department of Transportation and Streets LA to execute the Echo Lab Stakeholder Structure Partnership Agreement with community partners for a transformative climate communities implementation grant for the South Los Angeles Transit Empowerment Zone project, subject to the review and approval of the city attorney. And B, delete report recommendation number 2, inasmuch as the grant applications will be submitted by July 1, 2022, and no grant funding has been awarded.
Amendment to the controller's instructions.
Do you still recommend a second, Mr. City Attorney?
Yeah, we should get a second on
Okay, is there a second? Second by Mr. Krikorian. Okay, now let's move on to public comment. Mr. Sachs?
Yes, ma'am.
You're
Good morning.
speaking on general public comment and items 15 through 26. Let's go ahead and start with your items first. Put 3 minutes on the clock. Then we'll move on to your general public comment. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning. Arnold Sachs. Item 17 refers to the cannabis, the new normal. I'm wondering what they're doing about the MRT tax versus the state excise tax. Has the city collected any money from the cannabis tax? I remember coming in here a couple of years ago asking why they weren't using any state excise tax to help balance the budget. Never got an answer. I understand they're going to look for some outhouse counsel versus in-house counsel. By the way, do you know the difference between a mosquito and a lawyer? One's a blood-sucking insect, the other's a parasite. Number 18 refers to the planning department. There's no agendas posted for the planning department downstairs. So are they meeting? And if they're not meeting, I know they're getting some of these plans out of a $6 magazine that they get out of the planning, the building right around the corner, because I've seen it. Number 15, transit-oriented communities. What does that mean, transit-oriented? When are they going to start looking into CEQA? Do you care about clean air, or are you only concerned about tearing down buildings? Do you care about the clean air? Do you want to do something about cleaning up the environment? Or 40 units, 4 units for 55 years old. For 55 years, I don't think that's going to make it. 19 refers to the LA Housing Department contracting with the LA Homeless Services. Why do you contract out services for the Los Angeles City Housing Department to the county? Why do you do that? And what's the difference between a homeless service and homelessness service? There's a couple of differences there. Number 20 refers to the Board of Transportation Commission. Who do they oversee? Do they hire for MV Transit? Do they hire for First Transit? Are they in charge of Los Angeles Department of Taxis, LaDOT, or DASH? There's 5 different transportation commissions. I'm concerned about 2019. 26, instead of a tax, why don't you issue MICLA funds, MICLA bonds? You would just be able to connect. There'd be no excise tax. Why you keep taxing people to death? There's already a 10% sales tax. Why don't you issue MICLA funds, MICLA bonds, municipal issued City of Los Angeles bond? You could work with landlords and tenants, and there would be no cost to the public. It would just be an individual thing, and you'd be able to get rid of the RICO stuff that they talk about. What else we got here? 15, 17, 19, 26. Ooh, time's up.
You can go into general.
Your time is up, so why don't we move into general public comment? Go ahead and
Okay,
give them
do
a
you
minute.
care about the planes that are flying over downtown LA? There's almost 50 planes every day that are flying over downtown LA because some jackass built a goddamn stadium in a flight path and didn't ask, no planning. How can you not talk to the FAA and say, hey, we're going to build this goddamn stadium in a flight path, and you send those goddamn planes over downtown LA? How stupid is that? I'd like to know if you're going to put up a reward for the doctor that was killed at LAC USC. I was a patient there in 2020, and 2 weeks after I left, the doctor got killed, and I don't think anything was ever rewarded for his locate the killer. I'd like to know if you're going to do something about that. I'd like to know about code enforcement. Here's an advertisement for a Dollar Tree store right here, but it's selling stuff for $1.25. What the fuck is that?
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. The next speaker is Stuart Wallman. Stuart, are you here? Stuart, you signed up for item 26 and general public comment.
Thank you. Stuart Waldman, President of the Valley Industry and Commerce Association. The documentary transfer tax isn't just about a few large homes. It applies to all residential housing, including apartment buildings and pretty much every commercial property in the city of Los Angeles. These new taxes will simply be passed on to renters and businesses. Everyone knows that nearly every small business has a triple net lease. When taxes go up on the property, they all get passed on. Measure HHH, which was simply a bond instead of a tax, has been a failure. $1.2 billion, and it has created very few housing units and they cost over $800,000 each to produce. Throwing good money after bad isn't going to solve this problem. Something needs to be done to make these affordable housing units cheaper. These new large taxes cannot be spent on temporary shelter solutions, which is an overwhelming priority for the residents of Los Angeles. Money on the tax will be utilized without council approval.
And you can go into general. You have another
general
minute.
comment. Measure will simply waste more money with a system that doesn't work and locks us into one methodology. We, the business community, supported H. We've supported HHH. We want to work with you. As you know, we support affordable housing. We oppose NIMBYism. We want to solve these problems, but we have to be smart about how we spend this money. And this measure is not smart about how it is spending the money, because we don't know how it's going to spend the money. So there are problems that need to be fixed, and we are with you on that, just not on this measure. So thank you all. And it's good to see you all in person.
It's nice to see you too. Next speaker is Alec Kabolian. Alec Kabolian. Good morning, Alec. You signed up for general public comment.
Good morning. My name is Alec Kaboyan.
Can you bring the microphone a little down so we can hear you?
Okay. My name is Alec Kaboyan. I go to Granada Hills Charter High School, and I'm a part of the Lee 12 program under Councilmember John Lee. In this program, I learned a lot about civic engagement issues in Los Angeles, and one in particular that concerned me is public transit. I believe that one way to improve public transit in this city is for Metro to be fare-free again like it was from March 2020 to January of 2022. During the time when it was free, ridership increased to pre-pandemic levels, giving access to many low-income workers who depend on Metro as their primary means of transportation. Funding should not be an issue, as fares only make up around 6%, if I'm correct, of Metro's revenue. People should have the right to free public transit in order for LA to be as inclusive as possible to those from a lower socioeconomic background. Overall, I'd like to thank John Lee, Ron Rubine, and the rest of the Lee 12 group for allowing youth like myself to learn about the ins and outs of the city of Los Angeles and give hope to everyone of a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Anne Marie Odie. Good morning. You signed up to speak on item 26.
Good morning. This is Anne Marie Odie speaking on behalf of the 140,000 proud, skilled, and hardworking members of the Los Angeles and Orange Counties Building and Construction Trades Council. I'm here strongly to join our strong and wide coalition of labor, developers, nonprofit housing advocates, and community advocates to support United to House LA. This is a landmark day in which you have officially put us on the ballot. We have collected 98,000 signatures. We were a widespread and unified effort to help solve the housing crisis in Los Angeles. This is a crisis that is affecting our members, their families, and everyone who lives here. It is a smart and sensible solution that will not cost the average taxpayer in any substantial way and will instead possibly raise up to $1 billion per year for the preservation and creation of affordable housing. We are proud to join our coalition. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Claudio Bovell. Good morning. You signed up to speak for general public comment.
Good morning. The reason I'm here to thank the city council members for all the laws that they put in place to protect the renters and the elderly and so forth. Now, Mr. Herb Weston, I live at the Glory Homes apartment complex. Why are they encouraging the tenants to pay their rent online? That's against the law. Why are they asking for capital improvement? That's against the law. Why are they forcing or asking the tenants to pay for maintenance every now and then? That's also against the law. I have a package for Ms. Martinez. I have a package for Mr. Weston. And I have a copy of all the laws that the city council has put in place to protect the renters. I would advise you to share information with the district that you represent, because people have no idea of these things in place to protect them from illegal eviction and so forth. And we have a problem. If you do not control and regulate capital improvement, you're gonna have a homeless situation, because the elderly is the one that get kicked out of their apartment.
Sergeants, could you?
Sergeants, can you please, sir? The sergeant's right over here. Just go ahead and hand him the paperwork and we'll make sure it gets to the right person.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Frank Martinez. And you signed up to speak in item 26.
Yes, good morning, Council. My name is Frank Martinez. I am the Policy Director for the Southern California Association of Nonprofit Housing. Our members build affordable housing, nonprofit affordable housing in Los Angeles and the region. We are here in strong support of United to House LA. It's estimated that in the first 10 years, this will build over 25,000 units of affordable housing that will house almost 70,000 people. The stability of a permanent source of funding is extremely important for those who build affordable housing. It allows them to plan ahead, to build up their pipeline, and keep that flow of affordable housing coming and make it increase. The affordability crisis and the homelessness crisis in Los Angeles will not go away without us as a society making decisions and commitments to help get there. And this is one of those opportunities to make one of those choices, and we support it very strongly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next speaker is Giovanni Ferris. Good morning, and you signed up to speak in general public comment.
Good morning. My name is Giovanni Ferris, and I am a recent high school graduate. As I'm venturing off to college in New York City to champion social change and empower myself with education, I want to articulate to you all of the things that have gotten me here, specifically Councilmember John Lee's Lee 12 program. John Lee is amazing in and of himself, and his various accomplishments speak on this. However, he creates an environment in which his constituent accomplishments are not only commemorated, but so rewarded as well, something that at first glance may not be as obvious. As a fall cohort member of John Lee's youth leadership program, Lee 12, students like me were able to gain connections that could help them further develop their people-serving organizations, like mine Foster Connections, assisting disadvantaged youth battle systemic poverty. And with these connections, many Lee 12 students received $1,000 checks from philanthropists that without John Lee, we would otherwise have not been introduced to. Without Lee 12 and John Lee, I would not be as confident, courageous, or as accomplished as I am today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Kelly Clift. Anyone here with that name? Oh, good morning. You signed up to speak in general public comment. Go ahead.
Good morning. I would like to remind you my father, Walter Clift, murdered, and case number Michael Moore, police chief, case number 21STCV38625, Stanley Moss Court, Kelly A. Clift versus Los Angeles Police Chief Michael Moore. I just want to remind you that Los Angeles Police Department, I was making complaints about people breaking in, stealing, etc., and my father was murdered. Now, I've had settlement money issued, but I've never received the settlement money. Former Police Chief William Bratton was knighted by Queen Elizabeth, and I happened to be in London before he was knighted, a 3-week class at the University of London, theatrical class. I just want to remind you that people are afraid. Michael Moore, Walter R. Clift, my father murdered, the case cannot be settled out of court. However, I need money. Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, Civil Rights Act 1871. Klan members, sympathizers were powerful enough the law enforcement would not arrest them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Laura Raymond. You signed up to speak in item 26.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Raymond. I'm here in enthusiastic support of item 26. I'm the director of ACT LA, a broad housing and transit coalition, and I'm co-chairing United to House LA with April Verrett, the president of SEIU 2015. And I mention that just to really drive home the point that this is a community labor alliance that has 143 organizations so far have joined this. We've gathered 98,000 signatures to put this onto the ballot today. Our organizations work with renters and workers who are living on the edge of having housing stability, filled with stress and uncertainty. Some of our members are unhoused, even though they're working full-time jobs, unionized jobs, or are seniors that should be enjoying retirement. In this moment, we need to do something really big. United to House LA will be the biggest investment the city has ever made in preventing homelessness and will provide hundreds of millions a year for affordable housing. This is truly a proposal from the front lines. It was written with input from dozens of community organizations, and this is the opportunity to turn the tide. I'm honored to support today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Marissa Garcia. You signed up to speak on item 26.
Good morning. My name is Marissa Garcia, and I'm here on behalf of Move LA, a nonprofit organization which envisions prosperous and healthy neighborhoods around transit stations. We are in strong support of United to House LA, a measure which will significantly increase affordable housing for homeless and low-income Angelenos, including housing near transit stops. This is of particular importance for seniors and people with disabilities, many of whom are reliant on transit to access essential services. This measure would also provide income support to at-risk renters, helping them to maintain their stability and to stay in their homes. When our community has enough affordable housing, we will all benefit. So let's work to get the United to House LA measure passed in November, because everyone deserves a safe, long-term, and affordable place to live. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Olivia Zhao. Good morning, Olivia. You signed up to speak in general public comment.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia Zhao, and I will be a rising sophomore at Granada Hills Charter High School in the fall. I'm part of the Lead 12 program, and firstly I'd just like to say thank you for inviting us here today to be here to observe the city and its processes. I believe that it is truly important to get involved in the community, and I've created a few nonprofits to do so, one of which is called Cheer Community Cleanup. And we focus on beautifying our communities through simple and fun ways, such as going around, recycling, and picking up trash. I love how it has mobilized our community, kids, adults, and elders all alike, and it has allowed us to give back to our community. Although we are just a grassroots organization, I truly believe that everyone can make change in the world, no matter big or small, through the simplest actions, such as the ones we are taking today. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. What an eloquent and poised young woman. Look out, Mr. Lee. Future City Councilwoman. Next speaker is Tommy Fabe.
Good morning, Madam President. Is
Good
it okay
morning.
if I can specifically speak on items 26?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Madam President and council members. My name is Tommy Favai, and I'm here on behalf of 12,000 members of the IBEW Local 11, the Electricians Union. IBEW Local 11 has been involved with the United to House LA campaign since the very beginning. We know we have a housing problem in Los Angeles. We know that even with a higher than normal salary, it's still difficult to be able to rent adequate housing in LA. And buying is exponentially more out of reach for many. We are happy to have collected more than enough signatures to qualify this initiative. and put it before the voters. It took lots of energy to collect signatures from all corners of the city, and we are ready to double down to get voter approval in November. Today, with your approval, we celebrate being on the ballot. Next step, we win in November. Thank you.
Next speaker is Yuval Yousefi. Good morning. You're speaking on item 26.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
My name is Yuval Yousefi. I'm a resident of CD5, and I am here in strong support of United to House LA. If we want to deal with the homelessness crisis, we need to stop the inflow of our residents and neighbors into homelessness, and that's exactly what this measure would do through income assistance, emergency rental assistance, and renter protection enforcement. This permanent funding will help over 475,000 renters stay in their home each and every year, and this is a transformative moment to change the face of housing and homelessness and affordability in Los Angeles. So we are strongly in support of United to House LA, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, that was the last speaker. So we're going to go ahead and close public comment. Members, let's go ahead and vote on items 15 to 23 and item 25. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Okay, let's move on to item 24. There was a technical amendment introduced by Mr. Bonin and seconded by Mr. Krikorian. Let's go ahead and vote on that item as amended. Open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
And there's been a request by Mr. Bonin to send item 24 forthwith. Let's move on to item 26. Let's vote on this as amended. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, where are we now?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Those are posted and referred. Members, are there any announcements? Mr. Lee, do you have an announcement? I believe you do.
Well, I just wanted to welcome the Lee 12 Kids. It's a program that we started years ago. We offer it, I think, of around 20 spots every semester, but we have hundreds of kids apply. These are the best of CD12. As you can see, some of them, usually we only take juniors or seniors, but as you can tell by one of the last speakers, we had to make an exception for her. She's in 9th grade and impressed us so much on the interviews. These kids, we take time to teach them about how the city works and to make sure that they are part of the political process and how important that is, and also to encourage them to start their nonprofits with the help of our staff to help raise them the money to do the things that they're trying to do and to help beautify and all the amazing things programs that they do in our community. So just wanted to welcome them and thank them for making the trek down here to City Hall.
Can we have the students please stand up so we can recognize you?
Yeah.
Very impressed with your demeanor and your speaking abilities this morning. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Any other presentations? Mr. O'Farrell, you have a presentation? Or an announcement, I should say.
An announcement and a bit of a presentation, Madam President. Thank you so much. I'm joined by Mr. Blumenfield today, and I'm sure eventually by everyone around this horseshoe who knows, loves, and has worked with our general manager of the Department of Recreation and Parks all these years, none other than Mike Shull. And Mike, John Lee just booed because he doesn't want to see you leave. That's why there was a boo.
So moved.
So moved. It's done. You're not going anywhere. I am glad to be joined by Mr. Blumenfield as we recognize Mike Shull for his more than 32 years of service to the city of Los Angeles and its citizens. So this part right here I'm just going to read because it's his extensive biography, which has been brought a little tighter because it would be 10 pages long if we did everything. He graduated from Pennsylvania State University in 1990 with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. So how the heck did you become the Recreation and Parks General Manager as an engineer? Mike's service on behalf of Angelenos is extensive. Beginning in 1990, right out of college, is that right? Yes. As a civil engineering assistant with the Bureau of Engineering in the city, where he quickly rose through its ranks. Colleagues, Mike spent his entire professional career as a city family member. Thank you for that. In 2005, Mike joined our Recreation and Parks team as the head of its planning division, working on innovative approaches to improve existing parks as well as increase park access. That was our first department of Recreation and Parks. In this position, he has overseen more than 450 city parks, comprising over 16,000 acres of land, 1,500 full-time employees, and an operating budget above $275 million. Since joining Recreation and Parks, Mike's record speaks for itself. 74 new parks and the expansion of 14 others, totaling nearly 700 acres of land. This is in addition to reducing potable water usage by approximately 50%. And a lot of our lawns, our golf courses, it's remarkable, Mike. All of this was in the face of many challenges, ranging from the Great Recession to the COVID-19 pandemic. Through it all, Mike was a leader, leaned in, and didn't compromise our values. He increased capital investments in historically underserved communities, advanced gender equity, grew recreational programs, improved Recreation and Parks emergency response, and restored critical operation position authorities. Mike didn't just serve the city. His whole life is about giving back. He's an active member of the National Recreation and Parks Association, as well as World Urban Parks. You are a complete park nerd. He is currently an active board member of the City Parks Alliance and American Academy for Park and Recreational Administration. Mike, we're here to celebrate you, and look at your wonderful colleagues joining you. We've got Jimmy Kim, AGM, Matthew Rudnick, AGM also, Kathy Santo Domingo, are you here, Kathy? Nope. Harold Fujita, Director of Human Resources, Brenda Aguirre, Superintendent, Deanne Dedman, Superintendent Darrell Ford, Anita Meacham, Joe Losarelli, Rose Watson, Juan Carlos Chan, Grace Duncan, Ryan Carpio, Joe Halper, Commissioner. So this is just a fraction of the love for Mike Shull represented today. So before we continue around the horseshoe, Bob, you have a few things to say, I understand, about our esteemed colleague.
Very brief. I know we have a time limit here. Just, Mike, so appreciate you. You've been the GM since pretty much my entire term, and you've been this can-do kind of person who we all so appreciate. From the big issues, changing the Greek theater, to the little issues, to the ice skating rink, you have been there. It is a big loss for us as a city, but you've taken what was a department with a lot of turmoil and given it not only stability, but vision. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mike, I know that you are looking forward to traveling, spending quality time with your family and friends. Mike, you've always been so selfless, and just personal privilege here. You've always been so supportive of me and my efforts in the 13th as well. And I was chair of Arts Parks for about 5 years, I think, while on the council. And it was always an honor to work with you then. It's an honor to work with you now. So, Madam President, I'll turn it over to you for either remarks from Mr. Shull, or if members around the horseshoe would like to speak first. I do see some buttons pushed, so members first.
Mr. Lee?
During these last couple of years, and especially at the beginning of the pandemic, Rec and Parks employees stepped up as our disaster workers to do the work of housing some of our most vulnerable, vaccinating people here in the city, doing testing, providing after-school needs for parents, providing school time tutoring. They stepped up to do the things, and I think they did that because they have such a good leader and someone that they're willing to follow, that when Mike asks them to do something, they know he's a type of leader that will never ask them to do something that he's not prepared to do himself. Mike, we've lost a couple of great leaders over the last couple of years, but really this one, hits hard at home for me. Someone who's been here in the city since 1996. I've worked alongside you for a long, long time, and when you were named general manager, I could not have been more excited, even though I thought you were like 25 at the time. You seemed too young, but you are a perfect example of leadership at the top and of our department. Someone that, like Councilmember Blumenfield said, someone that when we call, we know, and we ask you to do something, we know it's either going to get done or that you tried everything in your power to make it happen. And when that rare occasion when you say no to us, we know that you put in every effort to help, because you not only care about your role as general manager, you truly care about this city. And this has been more than a job to you. And so this is a huge loss for us. I don't know how you're going to be replaced. It's huge shoes to fill, but we wish you well on your future endeavors, and come visit. Thank you, Madam President.
Mr. Bonin?
Thank you, Madam President. I too will attempt to be brief. Mike, I don't remember what year we met. It has been a very, very long time. And your retirement, even though I'm retiring in a few months as well, it hurts because you have been such an asset for the city. You oversee a department that represents both the simplest, purest joys of Los Angeles, but at the same time, some of the biggest controversies. Whether it's vendors or Venice Beach or something else, you have been the big and the small. And you've done it with a department that has been chronically under-resourced and understaffed. And you have worked and inspired your people to always do more. Mr. Lee talked about during the pandemic, but you have always done more with less every year in everything. And I just want to say, as I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking about your style of leadership and what you've brought to this job and to the city. And you have been not just hardworking, but humble about what you do. And your leadership is patient and thoughtful and creative and determined. And the thing that always struck me about you is, I don't know what you're like back in the office, I don't know what you're like at home, but every time you are talking with a council member, every time you're talking with the community, every time you're here at the Horseshoe, I don't know how exasperated you are in here, but you just project complete unflappability. And losing you is a huge loss to the city. Thank you for your years.
Mr. Karatz?
Thank you, Madam President. Well, I've been encouraged to be brief, so I'll be briefer than I would have planned. I would just say that Mike has been incredible in my district. We've gotten some great things done with our parks, and especially sometimes my constituents aren't easy. And so most notably, we have the most amazing soccer field that went in at Westwood Recreation Center. Trying to get that done was really like having a tiger by the tail and having it scratch and claw a few times. But despite all that, and despite being in 50 different directions on that issue with various constituencies, we turned an underutilized spot in Westwood Recreation Center to the most amazing soccer field I've seen in an LA park. And that certainly in CD5 will be part of your legacy, your amazing work your ability to work with people and get through all the difficulties, and the things that your department has done during the time I've been on council, and especially in the last few years of difficulties. I give you much of the credit for, and the city will miss you a lot, but you certainly accomplished an incredible amount while you were here. And my apologies, because I just found out there's a softball game in your honor this afternoon. I was just told about it and can't make it, otherwise I would never miss that. And hope you have a great time there and a great time in retirement.
Mr. De Leon?
Thank you very much, Madam President. Mike, we all collectively wish you the very, very best. You're so young, and you started so young, I think, as Councilmember Mitchell Farrell just mentioned a few moments ago, and we have a long history together. Actually, our history predates City Council, and we've actually worked more together in my non-council days. Together, we created roughly about 35, new city parks, 26 of them from my AB 31 and 9 of them from my Senate Bill 5, which became Prop 68. So we've done incredible work together. The latest groundbreaking ceremony we just did was in Boyle Heights, a couple months ago, down off Soto Street. So your commitment, dedication to the city and making sure that all children, have green parks and open space is amazing. And it's I think it's a testament to your fortitude, not just within the city of LA or the city of California, but the entire country. We all know that the city of LA is the most park-starved, city in all the United States of America. Geographically, we're also the largest city, in America, but you played such a huge role to get us to where we're at today. We have more work to do, obviously, a lot more, but, it's because of your dedication, we're a lot better than we were, years ago. So, I just want to add my 2 cents too, with everyone else here, to just say thank you very much, for your hard work. It's not easy, and oftentimes folks don't make the correlation between parks and green space and, mental health and physical health and just psychologically the way we think about our city, as opposed to just cement and concrete and asphalt, and it makes a difference, especially in our more economically challenged neighborhoods, where we have to really lean in to make it happen. It doesn't happen easily when, and I say this, but say, for example, my good friend here, Mr. Koretz, in his district, he has some constituents whose front yards and backyards are bigger than pocket parks, in many of our low-income neighborhoods, right? So the market doesn't allow it to happen. It has to be leaned in. So I want to thank you for your commitment, and we wish you the very, very best.
Next speaker on the queue is Ms. Rahman, followed by Mr. Buscaino.
I'll keep it really brief. Mike, it's been such a pleasure to work with you over this past year and a half. And I just want to say that I've really watched you lead Rec and Parks during a time when it has faced incredible challenges related to COVID. And I really wanted to thank you for your leadership during that time. Staffing shortages, park closures, facility closures. I think you've done so much to ensure that the department is still able to serve its function to the residents of Los Angeles during this incredibly challenging time. And I'm just so grateful to have had you as a partner in managing some of our city's biggest parks during this moment. And we're really going to miss you. So thank you so much.
Mr. Buscaino?
My brother Mike, love you, man. Thank you so much for this incredible relationship that we had over the years and the work that you did on behalf of the CD15 residents. Mike, as you know, members, he always found the way to get to yes. And oftentimes when park projects were over budget, he found a way to put an extra shine on the project. So thank you for that. But there is one secret, members, that we must disclose now that you are retiring, and you can share it with everyone, that Mike's favorite council district to work for is Council District 15. thank you so much for prioritizing CD15's projects over all others. What's that?
That was when Janice was here.
Oh, when Janice was here. Let them all know, Mike. Let them all know. No, I thank you when we talk about projects, skate parks and green space and Serenity Park and what we've done in Watts down to the waterfront. Thank you. I'm going to miss you know what? And I love the fact that the only way to get to my district was to call a Friday meeting and meet at Brewery West over a cold beer, Deanne, at 4 o'clock. But now we can meet there anytime you want. So thanks again, my brother. I love you. We love you. We thank you for your service, and thank your wife and kids for sharing you with all of us over the years. And Godspeed. You're going to do great things in retirement. Thank you.
Mr. Price, followed by Mr. Weston.
Thank you, Madam President. Mike, this is really bittersweet. You know, and I always thought this whole time, my 9 years, that it was District 9 that you liked the best, that you did extraordinary things in. Turns out you've been doing this all over the city, And so, Mike, we're just going to miss you so much. You've really been a real leader, a real pioneer, certainly before the pandemic. During the pandemic, you know, you successfully, with your team, successfully transformed the parks to learning centers, to babysitter centers, to learning centers, and just so excited about that. But you've also led not only with quality, but with equity. And so that's been it's been a real pleasure working with you, collaborating with you from the big expansion and renovation of South Park to the creation of our first dog park in CD9, again with your help. And so you're going to be missed, but your legacy certainly will live on, not just as part of the city family, but of the monuments and services that you provided for families and kids really throughout our city, especially in those areas that need it most. So thank you, Mike.
Mr. Weston, followed by Mr. Krikorian.
Thank you, Madam President and members. You know, I think that the B's got it right, Mr. Buscaino and Mr. Bloomingfield, when they indicated that one of Mike's biggest assets is that he knows how to get things done. We are supposed to be a city of yes. So when people come to us, they expect us as public servants to deliver services to them. And I have to say, without pause, Mike, if you were not the best, you were one of the best. It takes a willingness to take an N and an O, to squeeze it and turn it to a YES. It takes intelligence. It takes certain ability. And that's one of the things that makes Mike special. And I can guarantee you that the residents of the city of LA are going to miss you. But one of the other things that Mike has been able to do is that he's built a bench. He's built a bench around him within the department of great people that believe that the answer should be yes as well. And I guess just a couple quick things. I had this, as a kid, Mike, and you know the story, I was traumatized. I wanted to go to camp. Everybody on the block wanted to go to camp, but I didn't have the money so they put me on a wait list, so I hustled up the money, and on the day that they had camp, I was like 2 people short, and I didn't make it to camp, so I was devastated by that. So when I was elected to the city council, I was determined to make sure that children went to camp for free every year. We did it for like 14 years. So I came up with this brilliant idea that my staff and I would be the camp counselors. And we would set up the things that they would do to stay. The first year we did that, I had one little girl get a fish hook in her eye. I had to call, thank God, this poor little girl had a twin sister, and she's laying at Hanson Dam in the lifeguard's office holding her little sister's hand saying, "You can have my skinny jeans if I don't make it. I will never." That's a true story. So we get beyond that. And then a little boy goes down the slide and darn near drowns. He wants to go home. We talk him into staying. He decides to stay, and the next morning he gets stung by a bee twice. So I went to Mike and said, we don't have the ability to take care of these kids. Somebody's parent is going to just kick my little ass. I need professional help. And Mike put his team together, and for 14 years we had camping and fishing with Herb Wesson, Camp Wesson, and a lot of these kids that were a little rough around the edges are now in college and now doing well because of the work that we got from you and your staff. So I'm going to miss you because you're the type of government worker, the type of public servant that government needs, the kind that know how to get stuff done. God bless you, and be well, my dear friend.
Mr. Gregorian.
Thank you, Madam President. And first, Mr. Wesson, from a risk management perspective, maybe some stories are better left untold out in public. So, but I just wanted to rise briefly. I already spoke extensively in Mike's retirement party, so I'll try to be brief. But I just wanted to add to what everyone here has said, because there's certainly a lot of common themes. But as budget chair, I meet with general managers, every year, and I want to say why Mike has been really unique among all of them over the course of that time. Every time I meet with budget chairs, I meet with general managers, it's always, well, we would love to be able to do this, that, and the other, but we just need to fill these positions. We don't have enough people. We don't have enough resources to do that. We'd love to do it. We'd love to do what the council wants us to do, but we just need that extra help. And that's always true, because at least for the last 15 years, the truth is that almost every department that we have has been understaffed and underfunded. But having gone through the Great Recession, having gone through all those difficult years, where Rec and Parks was cut, members, by 30%. It lost 30% of its employees during the Great Recession. And that's when Mike came in as general manager, shortly in the aftermath of that. And yet never once, as you've all said, has Mike come to members or come to us collectively and said, we just can't do that. He's always figured out a way to keep it together, to make sure our parks are well maintained, to make sure that the services like Mr. Wesson just described and that all members just described, that are so critically important to the people of our districts, Mike has found a way to get it done. When the whole issue with the Greek theater was ripping apart the council, and we had these massive, lobbying efforts by, some of the, wealthiest and most powerful lobbying firms who were acting on behalf of the operators or potential operators of the Greek theater. Some of us thought, well, what's wrong with Rec and Parks? And instead of saying, oh, heck no, Mike said, yeah, we could do it. And it's been a phenomenal success since then, a phenomenal success. So from something like that to something like opening the pocket parks that Mr. De Leon described in his district, or anything else around equity, around sustainability, around providing services for our senior population, for the kids who are in need in every one of our districts, Mike Shull has stood up and gotten it done. But as important as that legacy is, and it's a tremendous legacy when you look around every corner of this city and you point to things and you could say that was made possible by Mike Shull's leadership of Rec and Parks. As important as that legacy was, so is the legacy of the people of Recreation and Parks. And Mike has been a fierce leader of this department. When we went through COVID and when the employees of Recreation and Parks had to step up in a way that was unfathomable when they took this job, that they had to step up and really keep people alive across this city, you know, they were willing to do it. They were raising their hands and say, I will help. How can I help? And so was Mike. But at the same time, equally, Mike was saying, we're willing to help, but I need to make sure that my people are kept safe. And because of that, we were able to launch a program that kept our employees safe, that kept the people of Los Angeles safe, that kept our unhoused population safe in a way that nobody could have thought possible. So the legacy is also in the men and women of Recreation and Parks. And so as Mike departs, personally, his legacy will remain in this department, in the extraordinary leaders, the extraordinary employees of Recreation and Parks that have grown up in that department under Mike's leadership and will continue to serve the people of this city so well. So, Mike, congratulations, and thank you on behalf of a very, very grateful city and a very grateful city council.
Thank you very much, members. Big round of applause for Mike. Mike, I will say this. I think you have the patience of a saint. The fact that you can manage 15 personalities on different days, on different hours, I think is commendable. But the one thing I do want to mention is, you know how much I care about parks. You know how much I care about parks in my district. You know how much I care about kids and families. And I think you and I have, through your efforts and through your staff's efforts, have really enabled some of our neediest parks in the neediest parts of our city to really flourish. And that's largely because of you. You've been focused on diversity and equity and making sure that our parks are equitable across our city and that they're actually serving kids and families. And I think growing up, I can tell you our parks never looked as good as they do now. And I think a lot of it has got to do with the tenacity and your dedication to making sure that kids from across the city all have access to clean and safe parks. So, Mike, thank you very much on behalf of Council District 6 and the Valley. We are going to miss you and your leadership and your dedication to our parks. But I want to give you a couple of, if you want to come up to the podium and just say a few words. I know you're counting down the days. I know that June 30th cannot come here soon enough. We spent Monday afternoon together as we reopened the Brantford Child Care Center in Arleta. And this would not have been possible without Mike and his entire staff. I got to see a lot of our retirees who came back to help with reopening our child care centers. We're scheduled to reopen 10 of them next year in hopes of making it 22 in the near future. And that has to do with your amazing leadership and your staff. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you very much. Blink of an eye, 32 years goes by in a blink of an eye. It was 1990 when I drove across the country from a town of 10,000 to a town of 4 million in my Oldsmobile Cutlass. Never dreamt that I would ever be in this position. But I can tell you, it's not about me or what I've been able to do. It's about the men and women of Recreation and Parks. And they are the most amazing, resilient, capable, passionate group of people I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And with our more than 1,500 full-time employees and our thousands of part-time employees, they are the ones that make it all happen. And, you know, it's easy to lead when you're working amongst the greatest people in the city. I'm just proud to have been, you know, their co-worker for all these years. But all of you have been equally important, Mr. Biscayano. You know, we try to make each council district, because you represent our city, and it's you need to be, everybody needs to have priority, and you know, and everybody should feel, all the constituents in each of your districts need to feel that way. Our parks are a vital resource. They're, in my opinion, make the quality of life in their communities the best. And it's I've so enjoyed working with each and every one of you, and your staff, you know, your amazing staffs. I mean, oftentimes you're the eyes and ears out there, and unfortunately sometimes you find out about things before we do. And I've always tried to tell my staff, it's like, don't let that happen. We should be the first ones to know in a park. But I'm just grateful. The city has given me everything. I mean, everything. And it's just, it's been an amazing ride. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mike. Members, are there any other announcements? If not, I'm going to move into adjourning motions, so if you can remain standing. Any adjourning motions to my left? Adjourning motions to my right? Seeing none, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.